Yes, we are back. I've been really sick. God, what I thought was just a quick sore throat turned into like a 2-week annoying cold that's still lingering, and it just sucks. It's not the flu, it's not you know what, it's just some cold, I guess. But anyway, cool new item arrived from Distortions Unlimited. He's big, although he's like pint size. He's still life size. And he's an alien, he's green, and I want to show him to you. I unboxed this crazy thing not even knowing what it was when it arrived, and I was like, oh my god, it's finally here. And I've got the big 3 sheet hung up in the kitchen here, so I figured this is the best place to unveil this little creature that showed up in the mail. And I think you guys are gonna love this because I ordered it and I've been waiting for him to show up. Check that out. That is a life-size Saucer Man from Distortions Unlimited. They got, I believe they got their hands on one of the original castings of the '82 Saucer Man and probably made a mold of it, because I don't think the original mold existed anymore. It could have been, I heard through the grapevine, it could have been Tom Savini's copy. That Tom borrowed it to Ed. I don't know. I've heard so many things regarding this project, but he finally showed up. And when I was at Mask Fest, Ed was like, guess what? I got to tell you some top secret stuff. And he told me these 2 incredible things that were being re-released after decades. This guy was for sale in 1982 as just a head. Now they've got the whole body. Ed revealed the secret to me. He goes, we're gonna make the body. I thought he said they were gonna make the weapon, but I guess they skipped that part. But look how awesome he turned out. He's got his little sweatpants on. I think he even has a belly button. But anyway, they did a really nice job on it. The collar looks legit. The cuffs. So it came in a long, slender box, and of course, the FedEx guy or UPS had it completely upside down, and those brackets were poking out of the box. I go, what is this? Because the brackets were on top. So I'm like, oh my god, they've got it upside down. And I mean, he's foam filled. I could tell he's foam filled. But I'm wondering if when they had this dude on his head, that if it wrinkled his neck a little bit and maybe cocked his head slightly that way. I mean, he looks good. He also has posable arms, which is amazing. I've had his arms straight all week. I finally posed his little hands. And so what I'm thinking of doing is carefully separating the head from the body and seeing if I could correct this hard crease here, making his neck straighter. I think that could come out a little better. And like I said, I think shipping could have done that. It's just a fold that I think I can correct with some stiffer foam, you know. It seems to be all good over here. It's so hard to tell, really. But for sure, I'm gonna take the hands off and foam fill them, because they're like a pair of rubber gloves almost, you know. They may have something in the tips, I'm not sure. I'd really have to look in there. Maybe there's a little foam pieces in the tips of the fingers, I can't tell. But I mean, you could tell it's just hollow rubber hands. I would like to preserve these, of course, for many years to come. So I'm gonna try to remove those, fill them, and see how they turn out, and then reattach them. But he is cool, and you can see behind him I've got the beautiful Angry Red Planet 3 sheet mounted in the kitchen. Finally, we repainted the kitchen and got that massive 3 sheet hanging up there, and it's cool. I thought that was like the perfect spot for it. My kid is like she just thinks I'm insane with this stuff. She's like, why would you hang that in our home? I'm like, because it's awesome. So yeah, I had to show off this guy, and Ed was offering these in 2 colors, green or the flesh tone version. If you see the actual movie props and prosthetics, the movie heads, you know, like the mask, whatever it was flesh toned. Like they painted them that way. But if you look on the lobby cards, the colorized lobby cards, they were green. So, you know, the film was black and white, and I believe they intended them to be little green men. So on the posters and the lobby cards, they show them green. And they could have, maybe they painted them flesh color because the green paint wasn't shooting right. I don't know. Maybe it was looking weird in black and white. I don't know. But I said, I'm going to order mine green like the cool lobby cards. And it looks dead on. Like it really looks like the little green guys on those cards. I love it. They made little boots, like little rubber boots. It's great. Such a cool piece for my home. I don't know where it's going yet. Probably in the mask room. It's a little tight in there. Maybe he'll go in the tiki bar by the pool table. I don't know. But before he goes anywhere, I am going to doctor him up. See what I mean? I want to really make this thing last a long time. And I'm thinking it shouldn't be hard to disassemble. I might reach out to Ed first and say, hey, is it easy to pull this head off and these hands? Like, are they glued on, you know, whatnot? So I want to just kind of ask him first before I go taking this thing apart. But really nice paint job on the eyeballs. I love it. God, it makes me want to order another one. They were $1,500 roughly, like $14.75 or $14.90. And I'm so glad I got one. I love it. I've always loved this character. That's a crazy old movie, and it's so iconic in the science fiction world. Everybody has seen these little guys at one point in their lives or another, you know. Very iconic character. So back to Merlin. Yes, remember I got the new Merlin downstairs. I'm getting ready to ship this one to my friend. I started looking at it, and I'm like, it's grimy. I think this grime, can you see that on the camera? I'm sure you can. Look at that. I said, I'm going to try to clean this before I ship it out, because you could see like brown. He's a brown noser. No, see like the brown on his nose? See that? I have a very good feeling that this crap is going to come off. It's either dirt, decades of dust. You know, I don't think it's a mold. Mold would look worse. I think he's just dirty. So I'm going to get some very, very lightly damp paper towels, and I'm going to work on the back first. You never want to just start on the nose or the face, because if you screw up the paint job, you got a freaking bad, you know, then you got a horrible spot on the front of your mask, and it's right on the front. Always start on the back if you're going to attempt something like this. But I have a very strong feeling this dude's going to clean up nicely. So let's see what happens. All right, guys. So got my little bowl of water. I'm not using any soap or detergent or anything like that, because it's an old Don Post mask from 1982. I think it's just dirt and grime, and I'm gonna start on one little area in the back. I'm just barely getting it wet. I don't want it soaking wet, so when I apply a wet paper towel, the water starts running down in this beautiful white hair. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be where it's so wet it drips. So it's just damp, okay? The cats are alive. The cats are crazy. They're so funny. So I'm just going little tiny circles, just trying to clean up this area. And I start, as I wipe it with the damp part, I kind of dry it right away too. I never want to leave the water on the paint job too long, you know? The good thing is, what I've found out in all my years of doing this crap, old acrylic paint really is sort of waterproof in many ways. Like, I've never had it come off. It's not coming off. But there is grime and dirt coming off, I could tell already. Oh yeah. And, you know, sometimes, I've said this in the past, do a little bit, go a little at a time, a little at a time. Don't, it's coming off, but you may have to do 3 attempts, 4 attempts. You know, you may have to get a clean towel and do it over again. But don't rub so hard, because you may rub that finish off, and then you're gonna be in trouble. This is working beautifully. Wow. I'm moving it around. I'm getting a new clean area each time. So hopefully you'll be able to see the difference here. I worked in one area about this big, and I can absolutely see the difference. Oh my God, it's gonna look like it's gonna look like a whole different mask. We should get him on camera really good. Okay. No. For like before and after stuff, you know? See that brown appearance in the top of his head, even his neck. I mean, I think it's dust. This hair was once white. It's off-white now, you know, like almost yellowed, but I'll show you the clean spot now. Check this out. Like right there is clean. And it may be very tough to tell on this video. You could definitely see from a distance now. See how nice that looks compared to that side? Look at that. That stuff's coming off. So that's cool. Let's keep going. This is so cool. I can't believe I've never done this until now. Until the mask is leaving the collection forever. And it's going to a very, very respected old school collector friend of mine who has taught me a lot over the years. I owe a lot to him. And the hobby would not be the same without him. I think a lot of you know exactly who I'm talking about. I almost had Pete, Devil's Workshop Pete, and Crazy Carlos here yesterday for a good old visit. But once I told Pete, I go, I was sick, but I'm better, I'm not contagious, he freaked out. Germaphobe. No, he just didn't want to get sick because he's going on a trip soon. I go, I get it. I was so excited. I'm like, finally they're coming by. So we're going to postpone that for maybe another week and get Pete, Devil's Workshop Pete, and Crazy Carlos here, and we'll film an episode down in the old collection. Pete's dying to see the mask room and the current state of things, you know, since it's changed so much over the past year. Who the fuck is it now? Gary. My buddy Gary. There's been something that's been driving me nuts with my RS7, my Audi. We think we figured it out. That car is crazy fast. Big 4-door. And it's just shy of 800 horsepower. And I tuned it, exhaust, carbon fiber intake. And when you launch that car, it's incredible. I'm going to have it on an airport runway soon. I have a Draggy, which is like a computerized quarter-mile computer that's pretty freaking accurate. So I cannot wait to see the new times it's going to run. But it's got to be low 10-second car now. I've already been running in the 10s with it. I can't remember exactly how fast I got it, but I want to really run it and launch it properly on a runway like that, and not some country road. Like I wasn't doing it in the safest places when I was testing it, so I wasn't, you know, I shouldn't be doing that shit. But I was curious. But now this car is gonna run even better and faster. All right, guys, are you ready to see the final product? Here's before where the mask was pretty dingy, you know, and here is the newly cleaned Merlin. 1981, 82 Merlin by Don Post Studios. Even the back of the neck was really brown. A lot of that came off. And I don't want to go crazy where I was in danger of removing that weird blue color. How the hell would you match that and make it look vintage? You know, it'd be really tough to touch this sucker up properly, I'm thinking. But if my friend wants to, he can take a very soft bristle toothbrush, a little water, and then carefully, you know, go over all these little cracks and even go further with this. But I got a majority of that grime off. And what a difference. It looks, you know, a lot better. Still really vintage looking, but it got that grimy brown, you know, I don't know what it was. It had to be dust. It had to be decades of dust. You know, if you ask me, this thing was probably on display, you know, and it finally got foam filled in the past 10 years or so. And it just sat there and just kept getting more dust. So came out good. Now I can ship him out to my buddy who is so excited to get this. I was too damn sick to even think about getting masks to ship out for foam filling and whatnot. So he's ready to go. I'm going to show you a mask that showed up in the mail. You guys remember I was telling you about the nonsense with the Cyclops, Steve Johnson Cyclops, you know, Distortions Unlimited sold them, was selling them. Well, I got my hands on an original. So, thanks to my buddy Dino, he hooked me up. He goes, hey, I'll sell you this. You want it? Give me a good, he gave me a good price. He said he touched up the eyeball a long time ago because the original stuff was peeling off. And apparently these had some big unibrow when they were sold. And I agree with him. It looks better without it. I've seen some pictures of one with it, and then this one doesn't have it. And so I kind of like that about it. But anyway, I got one. Totally vintage and not a brand new recast, you know. So for not much more than I sold the other one for. So it was a great, great price from Dino. Thank you, Dino. Mask Fest is coming up. And the hotels are sold out. I was lucky to get a room next door at the, whatever it's called, but I guess in Cincinnati, I think it's Cincinnati, Ohio. The Marriott is the main hotel. Hey, people back out. There's a chance you could get a room, but if you haven't booked your room yet for Mask Fest, you better start looking because it's getting tough to get a room. Anyway, what else can we talk about before we wrap this video up? We may have to go down to the basement and go in the old mask room. Oh, let me straighten the camera up because I got a poster I want to show you guys, okay? I had a really rare poster, linen backed, and I want to show you here on the camera. I deal with a place called Chicago Poster Restoration. And they happen to be right in my frickin' building. It's crazy that they're like 10 floors down from my office. I never knew this for years, right? And about 2 years ago, I go, man, I want to find a place. There's got to be a place in Chicago that foam fills, but linen backs posters. And I Google it, Chicago linen back posters, blah, blah, blah. And it says 5 South Wabash, Chicago. And that's the main jewelry building in Jewelers Row. And I'm like, what? I go, 13th floor. Like, this is crazy. I'm on the 21st floor, my office, top floor. And they're on like 13. I'm like, you gotta be, this is nuts. So I've been dealing with Vince there. Really, really great guy. We are going to look at 2 posters here. One belongs to my good friend, William Douglas. William Douglas is like a long lost cousin or something that loves everything I love. Mainly 70s and 80s horror and hair metal and all that good shit we grew up with. I think I'm older than him. So he's like a little younger cousin. He's still old. It's like an older dude, but not like a kid. We're not like that far apart in age. Maybe, I don't know. I'm pretty fucking old now. But William Douglas, what a fucking cool guy. I'm sure you've seen him on Instagram and Facebook. He's a cop. For those of you that hate cops. I do not hate cops. I don't hate the police. I almost became a cop. I almost became a cop. Can you believe that shit? Man, it's a true story. All my friends, well, not all my friends, all my friends were either drug dealers or police. So it's like the cops were so crazy in the town of Calumet City, Illinois. That's a very notorious place to grow up. Al Capone hung out there. It's the home of the Blues Brothers, Calumet City, Illinois. One of the craziest fucking places you ever live, grow up, in the 70s, 80s, even back in the 50s, I guess. All the go-go dancers were on State Line, go-go girls, and all these crazy bars. But anyway, I almost became a Cal City cop, passed the physical, aced the psychological exam, passed the oral exam, and to make a long story short, my mother, you don't fuck with my mom, she will bury you. The mayor of that time was this little asshole who thought he was a mobster. He was like doing all kinds of bad shit, stealing money and racketeering and strong arming. And to make a long story short, my mom, he was fucking with all the cops. Real asshole, little Italian guy. My brother's Italian, so I can talk about Italians. My mom testified in federal court to put his ass in prison. So I hung out with all these cops and bad people. So they were like, dude, you should become a cop. It's amazing. I'm like, all right. But in the middle of all that bullshit, my mom and I have different last names because she was remarried and all that. So someone must have went to the mayor before he was put away. He goes, hey, that's Janice's son. He's going to become a cop. And I was like, oh, no, he's not. And they sent me this crazy letter saying I had to wear contact lenses for so many years before I took the tests. And all the cops were like, that's bullshit. That's lies. They're fucking with you. And thank God I didn't become a cop. Believe me. You think I want to be a cop now? Fuck no. Anyway, this is one rare one sheet, okay? Look at this. Oh my God. Woohoo! Look at that. This is a very, very rare Salem's Lot one sheet. And I don't know the history on this poster. Like, foreign, I don't know if, it's all in English, but I don't know. All I know is this is one really rare Salem's Lot poster. I've only seen a couple. Like, I don't know, 2. I want to lay it out here carefully and then show you. That side. I mean, it's a legit one sheet, the real deal. And if any of you are poster, experts, I want to know more about this thing. All I know is there's not many out there. That's all I could say. And this is a beautiful example. I had to linen back it. It's going in tomorrow to the framers. They're going to frame this sucker. And I have no idea where I even have room to hang it yet. But it's going up in this house. I mean, look at that son of a bitch. And look at that poster. The colors, the art is just fucking perfect. Perfect. All right, I gotta show you a Williams poster because I had Vince linen back a poster for William. He's so excited. I'm gonna ship it out to him this week. So let me grab Williams. And there is William Douglas's one sheet from The Fog. Original folded one sheet, and they did a great job of linen backing that for him. The Fog. So he's so excited. He's gonna frame this sucker and hang it in his home. And I'm thinking of sending William a very special gift. Yes, yes. Because he's the real deal, all right? William Douglas, if you look at any post that he's ever put up in the past 5 years, you will say, yeah, he's legit. He is not a fly-by-nighter where people find this hobby and they go, oh, people love horror. I'm gonna love horror too. And then there's like big posers, you know, but he is the real deal. All right. Huge John Carpenter fan, great all around dude. And we never met in person yet, but we could tell like we're both, you know, we're both on the same page in our minds with a lot of shit. So old school Fangoria readers and horror fanatics. So I'm gonna send this out. And I'm going to send him something truly incredible. I'm going to show it to you guys, and hopefully he doesn't watch this episode. I may overnight it. Let me go get it. I'm going to overnight it to him. So by the time this episode is live, he won't see this before he opens it, all right? So I've been going through my lobby cards I brought home from Frank's. There's a lot of them I don't want to keep that I've sold some, like the Conan the Barbarians and the Superman stuff. This one is totally a keeper, but William has visited the filming locations. He's crazy about this film. So am I, but I'm sending him the complete set of lobby cards as a freaking gift to William. He's a good dude. And this is all 8 lobby cards. They're beautiful condition. And I doubt he has these. He is a fog fanatic. So, William, by the time you see this video, this will be in your hands. You lucky son of a bitch. Yes, sir. This is my gift to you. You know, I could easily sell this on eBay. But I like putting things in people's hands that are going to truly love them and appreciate, you know, something like that. And William is that person. All right, let's go back downstairs. The place is still in decent shape. I didn't really mess the place up because I've been so damn busy. Haven't been down here too much. God, I sound like shit. I just look around sometimes like, what did I sell recently and what's still here? I'm thinking of having some more pieces foam filled, so I'm sending some masks out tomorrow. I really need to get this guy filled, and he's still stuck on a foam head. Luckily, he's not like stuck to it. I'm going to take this upstairs because I definitely want this to go and get filled, so I'm going to remove this head tonight. It just has to be busted up. It's just a pain in the ass, you know, getting these damn foam heads out of these masks. 27 minutes of carefully cutting with a steak knife, digging it out by hand. The hardened styrofoam head that's lodged in this ultra rare Jordu shell mask. I'm trying not to chip that beautiful dried hardened blood. Just wonderful time here with this vintage styrofoam head. But hey, they're wonderful, aren't they? And, you know, not only does the mask age and hopefully not dry out from the styrofoam head, but they still age. And then, you know, the head was painted black, thank God. But the head also ages and the styrofoam gets hard as a rock. So chipping away and busting it out of here is just loads of fun. Loads of fun, guys. So keep using those styrofoam heads for your long-term mask needs. And yeah, I know, don't even mention styrofoam cutting tools. I know, everybody. I don't have one right now, but I have to get this sent out. So steak knife is all I got. And this is just bullshit. Bullshit. I hate these heads. Hate them. And it's a nightmare. Well, hey, I got it. What do you think of that? After making a mess. Almost destroying the mask in the process. Look at this shit. Nothing wrong with styrofoam heads. They're the best. I've been using them for 10 years. Yeah, use them for 30 to 40 years and get back to me. So that is an old Jordu piece. Very old, rare Jordu werewolf. Probably the only one I've ever seen in a collection. And the space, was it the Space Queen? Is this what she's called? This is an old Jordu piece too. She is also on a styrofoam head. And I wonder if that back is... Yeah, that back looks like it's taped shut. Oops, her necklace fell off. Maybe I can separate that and get this head out easier than I thought. Oop, gotta go. I'm probably gonna take this guy and foam fill him myself. This is the really rare Death Studios Nate, and it's a nice thick pull. Like, he doesn't necessarily need to be foam filled, but it's like, it's so big, you know, and floppy that unless you stuff the shit out of it, it's hard to display it without it flopping around. So I think I want to fill him. I'll do him myself maybe tomorrow. Oh my god, I'm so stuffy. All right. He's filled nicely. That's filled. Very rare. Alien. David Smith. There's so many cool masks. There's lots. Isn't there lots of great weird stuff on this wall? Like beautiful old, and oh, him, he has got to get filled. He's on the styrofoam head still too. How the hell am I gonna get that taken apart by tomorrow? I wonder if I could do that too. I definitely want that thing filled. Shit everywhere. I got masks I gotta finish working on. It's like this hobby. This is a serious hobby. I'm always having to do something or drive somewhere to pick up stuff, send shit across the country, pay money to foam fill them. You know, it's not like it just all sits here and I just stare at it all the time. No, it's a full-time side job, this hobby. It's just so crazy. The Dom Post wall has... The whole Dom Post section of the collection has toned down a bit. Like, I really purged some good stuff out of here, but definitely kept a lot of the best shit. And made room for all of the other cool stuff. And I've got more stuff coming back soon that I have to find even more room for. So, I've been kicking around the idea of selling the Nightmare masks back there. I got all 5 of those. We will see. I have to figure something out here. But so far, everything still looks good. And everything holds up very well down here in this nice, cool climate. You know, everything is just always soft. It's never cracking or hardening. Everything is in really nice shape. It's always in the dark. It's not too humid. It's not too dry. It's like perfect conditions down here in this mask room in the basement. Here in the good old Midwest, Northwest Indiana. So yeah, this is just a short episode, you know, showing you the cleanup on the Merlin, checking out some posters and the new amazing Saucer Man by good old Ed Edmonds and the crew at Distortions Unlimited. So I'm going to get some pieces ready to send out to get filled, along with some others that are already upstairs. And they will be coming back soon, and we will check them out in a future video. But there's more to come. When I feel better and I can talk without being stuffed up, we're going to get into a really rare... We're going to get into a really rare Be Something Studio mask that's on its way here. Yeah, I bought a really rare vintage 70s Be Something mask that I've never seen in any collections. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really cool. All right? Thanks for watching this episode. I told you it would be I told you I wouldn't talk your head off tonight with a bunch of nonsense and a bunch of advice. But thanks for tuning into this episode here on the channel, and more mask stuff is on the way. Closing out this video, showing you that for 24 minutes straight, trying to carefully dig this stupid styrofoam head apart with my fingers, which is not easy. Slowly cutting little cuts with a knife, a steak knife, trying not to damage this mask. It's aged. The rubber does not stretch like it used to. And this is the result. If your mask isn't hardened from the process of sitting on a head for decades, this is what else can happen. Your mask simply ages and it won't come off. So, you know, all those guys out there telling you that these things are no problem and they're good to go and they're good to display your masks on, this is more proof that they are a pain in the ass or they're going to ruin your mask. Good night.